This is the show where we talk about news,
politics, arts, science, and everything that's impacting the current state right now. Dear Mr. Harper, I love my country, and it saddens me greatly that I'm beginning to lose my pride in our nation. The elected representatives of Canadians are conducting themselves on the world stage as well as domestically in a manner that is to me un-Canadian and detrimental to our values. As a politically active, concerned youth that will one day live the consequences of today's actions, it frightens me that I see corruption not only in foreign countries, but domestically in my own as well. With all the scandals surrounding the Senate and your office, Mr. Harper, I am able to see that the values and beliefs that we as Canadians claim to uphold, that once contributed to our unique and powerful position on the world stage, are being undermined. Canada was once championed as an ideal democracy, both domestically and internationally. This view is now dwindling because of political actions led by you. You yourself, Mr. Harper, once disrespected the United Nations, an international, powerful organization of which Canada was once a responsible, proud, and respected member, by denying an invitation to speak to the General Assembly, despite the fact that you were already in New York, the headquarters of the United Nations. As former Prime Minister and a proud Canadian, Jean Chrétien once said in a speech on November 10, 1995, "We are one world. We in Canada feel this deeply. Responsible citizenship is one of our proudest shared values. And the place we exercise that responsible citizenship is in multilateral organizations, town hall meetings of the world community." This sentiment is no longer being reflected in our international politics. Despite the fact that we as a country have been elected 12 times to serve on the UN Security Council, despite the fact that we have contributed to peacekeeping efforts more than arguably any other UN member state. Recent movement for Security Council reform, Canada is not even being considered as a candidate for obtaining a permanent seat. This shift in international policies can also be seen in Canada's recent inaction towards the UN Arms Treaty, as we are not among the 65 countries that have signed, as well as rescinding our agreement to follow the Kyoto Protocol and distorting our role as international peacekeepers. It disappoints me that Canada's once great international image is diminishing as you cut from valued programs in fields such as arts, science, and social programs. This is illustrated through the gutting of such programs as the Great Lakes Research Project, the Radioactive Isotopes Medical Program, and cuts to the Toronto International Film Festival's budget, among other internationally and domestically acclaimed programs. This selfish move towards a society that is more concerned with perceived economic growth than the diminishing of the unique position Canada once held in global affairs, through historic, economic, and geographic alliances, as well as social programs, values, and beliefs. Now it seems you have embraced a sinister, self-serving power that is being used in negative ways rather than a historically positive position. I postulate that our past great Canadian leaders would not be proud to be a part of the seemingly regressive nature caused by the changes you are making to Canada. I recognize that my young, idealistic views may not be entirely realistic. However, I do recognize that the world is changing and we need to adapt. Mr. Harper, through the current party system in Parliament, you are elected leader of our country. However, you do not represent 60% of the people of Canada and do not honor their views and values. We have the right to remain a sovereign state. However, this does not give the Canadian government a free pass when conducting international business on the world stage or domestic policies here in Ottawa. Mr. Harper, I abhor the recent actions of you and your Harper government have forced me to write a letter of this nature. However, the consequences of inaction are too great. Sincerely yours, Ieva Van Gies-Michelsens. That was my letter to Mr. Harper. If you would like to contact our Prime Minister, I've included the information on how to do so in the description below. Or you can make a video like I did. If you're a little bit camera shy, be sure to leave me a comment down below. Also, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more political type news. I'm Ieva Van Gies-Michelsens, and this is The Current State.